What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Reppin with Gina G, a show where I rep my teams by the bay. In this episode, I'll be repping the San Francisco 49ers. And as you may or may not know, I've been a diehard Niners fan since 1981, celebrating all the Super Bowls in the streets of San Francisco. So I'm praying that we get back to the promised land, and with that huge trade that took place last night, acquiring the top running back in the league, Christian McCaffrey, aka CMC, I believe we could possibly, hopefully, maybe pick up our sixth Lombardi this season. All right. So in most minds of the 49ers faithful, this Sunday is said to be a huge game as we are going against the Kansas City Chiefs, a rematch of our Super Bowl 54 opponents in the 2019 season. We haven't played the Chiefs since that game, so I guess you can call this a 49ers revenge game. The 49ers and the Chiefs are both coming off a loss, but the Niners are hosting the Chiefs at Levi's. The 49ers offense couldn't carry the injured defense in the loss against the Falcons, but will CMC play this Sunday, and who will come out with the win? I've got a great episode for you guys with some great guests, and please make sure that you hit the like button, join in the live chat, and comment, and maybe subscribe if you're not already. So with that said, let me introduce my first guest. He is a Kansas City Chiefs fan and a friend of mine. His name is You, aka Thizmonger on Twitter, host of the Mike and You podcast. And let's just welcome him in.
What's going on?
What's up, You? How you doing?
It's a lot of nothing. I'm doing all right. How are you?
You still got the 100-yard dash?
Yes, I do. I do the 100-yard dash. I haven't recorded this week's episode yet, but yes, I still do the 100-yard dash podcast, and I'm also on a co-host with the Mike and You podcast. So,
Yep.
Yeah,
I love that one too. So thank you for joining in tonight. We had a couple guys to join you, but unfortunately they couldn't be here. So you're gonna have to hold it down for Chiefs Kingdom.
and that is perfectly okay with me.
Okay, great. And so next we have some 49ers faithful family joining in. Ladies first, we've got Shell.
Hi.
Welcome in. Creator of the 49ers Hype videos. And we've got one to show tonight. I can't wait. And next, joining in, we've got a regular special guest, Rod. Welcome to the team. Rod Kelly, living in ATL.
What up? Appreciate you on that. What's up, everybody?
And
Let's get
last
this going.
but certainly, let's get it going. Last but certainly not least, the guy who runs driving to the top where the road never stops, Adam. And a Steelers fan, but hey, he loves the Niners too.
What's up, folks? How we doing?
What it do?
I just got home from work, obviously, and all saw that backstage, and so I just grubbed, and here we are. Let's do it.
Yeah.
I'm all full now. I'm ready to take a nap.
I feel that.
And hopefully we get some people to join in on the live chat. I know it's a Friday night, but hey, you know what? We got to preview this game coming up because it is, in my opinion, a huge game. And, we've got Jimmy G back at the helm, and it wasn't supposed to be this way. It was supposed to be Trey Lance, but it is what it is. We've got a huge addition now, and some people were like, did we give up too much? Is it a risky trade? I don't know, whatever. But we at least got some compensatories, coming our way. But with that said, we have some topics to get into, and we've got one to start with. Ooh, that took a lot out of me. All right. So, starting with, and this is open for anyone that's watching this for the first time, these questions are open to everybody, but this one's directed towards, what we are going to ask, like starting with our Chiefs fan. Do you consider this a big game? Because we kind of do.
I mean, originally at first I didn't, but coming off that loss to Buffalo, which was a huge game for us.
Right.
It's not ideal to lose 2 in a row.
Yeah.
And I actually penciled the Chiefs in for losing 4 games this year, maybe 5. And after losing, I thought we would beat the Bills. So after losing to the Bills, winning the next game is crucial. Dropping back-to-back games is never good. So based on that right there, I have to say this is a big game. Not to mention, I know Joey Bosa will be ready to sack Mahomes. I mean Nick. I'm sorry, Nick, because Joey's in our division. So it's one of those things. But Nick is probably just chomping at the bit to sack Patrick Mahomes and just ruin the whole offensive game plan like the Bills did to us last week. But yeah, it's definitely something we have to consider. It's a big game. It's definitely.
Bosa owes him one from the Super Bowl when he got hit.
Yeah, for sure.
So as long as we got that part clear, that's the main point. I'm glad that we have actually a Chiefs fan to finally say that you guys actually held on that one. Appreciate that.
Yeah, I wanted to say it wasn't a big game, but you can't drop 2 in a row. In our division, it's a lot weaker than what we thought it would be, but it's still major that you have that. I mean, if we're going for the 1 seed, you got to be winning as many games as possible, especially with the Bills looking super powerish. So, but I know Sunday's not going to be no cakewalk. I already know that. It wasn't a cakewalk the last time we met y'all. It wasn't a cakewalk.
Is Bosa playing this weekend?
Yes.
I thought I heard he was.
Yeah.
That's
playing.
that's one of the guys you got to circle every time you face the 49ers. That's one of the guys that you have to circle. So I think he is playing.
He was a full go at practice today.
Williams is back.
That's a big game.
You said Adam, Jimmy Ward's not playing.
I read he was.
Jimmy Ward has a broken hand.
I read he was playing.
He's got that club on. He's playing.
Yeah.
Jimmy Ward?
Yeah, they had it down as he's
Shut
playing.
up.
The only person that's questionable was Hufanga. Hufanga and Mooney Ward was the only ones that were questionable.
Holy shit. Yeah, Hufanga
everybody
only
else
has
was-
wow. Hufanga only has
hold on.
one more day of clearance. I
Hufanga
read
was in
that.
the blue. Yeah,
Charbonnet is out.
Hufanga was in the blue non-contact jersey today at practice.
Now that's going to be a big save for us because he's been balling.
Yeah, but Hufanga will come off that though because they said he just has one more day of clearance. So don't get your hopes up.
He'll be
What-
playing because he
what did I hear
practiced
about-
yesterday.
Trent Williams is back too this week.
Yeah, Trent is back.
What about did I hear Charvarius was out?
I
No.
think he's
He's questionable right now.
Questionable. Yeah.
The only one that was out was Armstead for sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's out.
Oh, he's definitely out. Yeah.
Yeah.
But there was
Everybody
another
else
guy
is
coming back
questionable.
too, Rod. Who was the other guy coming back? For sure. We have Williams. We have
Williams for sure.
Bosa.
McGlinchey's playing. Bosa's playing. The only people that were questionable was Hufanga and Mooney Ward. That was it.
Oh, snap.
Wow.
But Mooney Ward was at practice today.
Right. Limited.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we don't know.
Right.
Hufanga practiced yesterday. He practiced
Mhm.
today. You know, he had blue jersey on today at practice. So, and if he gets clear, it's looking that way, like by
Right.
tomorrow. The
Right.
same thing that happened with Bosa in the playoffs when he was in that concussion protocol against Green Bay. It's the
Right.
same thing that he's in this week. So he pretty much is going to play on Sunday. He'll
Okay.
pass it by tomorrow. He should be good to go.
Yeah, that's gonna be a problem for our left tackle for sure.
Yep.
I don't know what kind of injury. I looked at the injury report for the Chiefs earlier, but I forgot it already. That's my bad.
Willie Gay's coming off suspension. I know that. Linebacker. We got a relatively healthy team. Trying to think. I don't think anybody should be out. I might have to look that up, but trying to think. Aside from the normal injuries, I think Trey Smith, our right guard, he was questionable he didn't play last game. And so I think he was questionable for this game. That was the last time I checked. Let's look at the injury report here. But which is a big deal because Trey Smith is a guy we drafted a year ago. And last year he was like really good. And then this year he got injured. And then he was put right by our center, Humphrey. And they were like a great teammate. They were tag team and they were getting everybody. And now it's like, now our offensive line is like, doesn't have as much push as they had last season. And so we just got injuries and we're nursing injuries right now on the offensive line.
Yeah. Yeah. That's fair.
This is the make or break game too. Whoever wins this one will be 8-7.
Yeah.
Well, this is a big week for us because we got 2012 squad is all coming back. I don't understand why we're doing what we're doing this Sunday, but whatever. Maybe it might give us a boost.
Yeah.
The biggest boost is, having McCaffrey in the backfield. This, just being on the sideline. I think that's going to be an extremely big boost. How many plays does he play this weekend? I think he'll just dress. I don't really see him truly. I don't think he'll hit the field, but I at least think he's going to be suited up. He'll be dressed. But
I think he's going to play.
I wouldn't doubt it, but
they were talking about a veteran running back, and there's the mascot.
Yep, I see him. Yep.
I see. I think he's going to play. Like I said, I just do. I mean, you don't give away your draft picks and not let a guy play when he understands how to play football.
Oh, that's going to be a problem for us. It really is.
Wait, let me ask you this. Why do you say it's going to be a problem?
I mean, our offensive line is just beat up right now. And I'm looking at the injury report right now, and Trey Smith is going to play. He was full participant in practice, but Joe Tooney, he's a full participant, but he had an ankle situation. And Joe Tooney is one of our technicians for real. He can play any position on the offensive line. My issue is our offensive line has already been getting beat up, and not having the full complement of our offensive line against freaking Nick Bosa and all the rest of the guys is just not good. You know what I mean? So Patrick Mahomes has been not being able to stand tall in the pocket like he wants to because he doesn't have the full complement of his offensive line.
So do you think everything is the offense is predicated towards whatever Kelsey gives? Then after that, what, Juju Smith-Schuster?
I mean,
How it
Juju,
pretty much goes?
he's technically our number two. He's technically our number one receiver.
Right.
But the concept is, say what?
Oh, my fault. He's a Trojan. That's all I was saying.
Oh yeah, yeah. But the concept is that anybody could get the ball. Anybody. It doesn't matter if y'all are giving the offense to McCole Hardman and he's producing, we funnel the offense through him. If it's producing through Juju, then it's funneling through him. The idea is that the ball could go anywhere instead of just having to worry about a Travis Kelce or this time last year a Tyreek Hill, so forth, so on, and what have you. So, yeah, it could go through anyone. Just depends on who's on this game. That's all.
I think the biggest thing is we can't let Jet McKinnon get off. Not against us.
I forgot. This is like one of them NFL games again.
I actually forgot Jerick McKinnon was a 49er for a second.
He
sucked up a lot of money off this team.
Right.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
A lot of money.
Now, fortunately for you all, he hasn't been playing significant snaps in the Chiefs offense. I don't know why. I think they're so stuck on the whole they drafted Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Yeah. They drafted him in the first round, so I think they're trying to figure out whether they're going to keep him or not. But Jerick hasn't really been seeing the field like that, and I wish he has because I still think he has a lot of juice left. Maybe not for a full 16, 17 game season, but every other game or something like that. He still has significant skills. He can block, he can catch, he can obviously run between the tackles. And I would like to see him this game, honestly, but I wanted to see him last game. I think Chiefs Kingdom is kind of over the Clyde Edwards-Helaire experiment, and they're ready to see all the other running backs that we have in our arsenal.
Helaire seemed like he was doing better this year.
He is doing better, but when you got a guy like Pacheco, Clyde likes to dance around behind the line of scrimmage and then see the hole so he can hit it. With a guy like Pacheco and Jerick McKinnon, they are more explosive when it's time to hit the holes. And I just think Chiefs Kingdom is kind of over Clyde because he just wasn't what he was advertised to be when we drafted him. Which sucks, but it is what it is.
Pacheco is a beast, though. He runs with a purpose. Like, he's hungry.
He is, and we're trying to feed. I think it's time to feed everybody as opposed to just Clyde. You can run with a purpose here. In fact, this is one of the things I love about Shanahan. He uses everybody in the run game. It doesn't matter who you are. If you can run the ball behind the line or you can line up behind the line, he's going to figure out how to best match you in a game and figure out how to break a game open. And I love that about him. I really do.
Oh. Some good feedback. Really is. I think I was thinking about that too. Like, is it a big game for us? I would say yes, because of the obvious. We just came off of a loss and going 3-4 with such a tight NFC West right now would really make it interesting. Not Will we still be in the conversation? Yes. I mean, if you guys lose, would you still be in the conversation? Absolutely, because the AFC as a whole is pretty tight.
It is. It
But
is.
yeah. So I tend to agree. I agree on both sides. I think it's a big game for us and for you guys because yeah, going back to back for us would be bad, and going back to back for you guys would be especially bad. Since the AFC West isn't exactly tight, but you have some good teams in there nonetheless. Even though
We are
most
tied with the Chargers, though. We
yeah,
are tied
I
with the
was gonna say
Chargers,
that, yeah.
and so we
Right.
have that tiebreaker. If for some reason we do, for right now, we have the tiebreaker. Of course, we play them again some other time. I'm assuming in December, but yeah, that's since they're tied with us. The Chargers are going to be one of the teams that we keep an eye on because Denver, of course, is not even relevant. And the Raiders, they're not relevant right now either. So the Chargers have basically the next coming. They got a quarterback over there. So they're right behind us. And we need to put some distance between us and them in the division.
Right. Totally agree with that. I
You know
think
what's
that's
funny
like
about that
same
though?
with us. But go ahead, Rob. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what's funny is because before the season started, we had what was it? The AFC West was supposed to be the most dominant, division in the league, and then
It
it's
was.
like, wait, what happened? Denver was supposed to be good as ever. We can't argue. We let us be quiet because we did get beat by Denver. But as far as the expectation, it's not leading up. It's not really what we thought. The Vegas Raiders trash. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like,
Yes.
and even the Chargers aren't doing what we thought they were going to do.
Well, the
If you really
Chargers,
think about it.
the Chargers never do what anybody thinks they're going to do. They're the off-season Super Bowl champions of the past 4 or 5 years, dating back to when Phillip Rivers was their quarterback. Like, they are paper champions every single year, and us as Chiefs Kingdom don't understand why we have to go through seeing everybody pick the Chargers to be whatever. And yes, Justin Herbert is a great quarterback, but that doesn't translate to wins apparently
Yeah,
because it hasn't.
yeah.
It seems like Justin Herbert is off every year they pick him to do something phenomenal.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
this is one of those phenomenal years where he's off.
That's a fact.
But then again, Joshua Palmer's out, Keenan Allen's out. He doesn't have his weapon.
Right.
He also had that rib cartilage injury.
Yeah.
He had like cracked ribs or something like that for
And
at
he's
least
playing through
3
it,
games.
right.
Yeah, he's been struggling in that form.
Right. So that's why we're kind of like thinking the same thing, like what's gonna happen. That's why the next question is kind of goes into that. It's like, have you been unimpressed with Shanahan's playbook so far for us 49ers fans? And I think the answer for me would be I'm just not wowed. It looks like more of the same. It looks like there's a lot of times we talked about this a couple days ago where it was like we're not pulling the trigger when we need to. We're not opening up that bag. We're just not going for it for whatever reason, either fear, safety, trying to keep people upright. I mean, we have a whole grocery list of injuries and everything. So I don't know why we're not doing it or why we haven't been doing it, but it's been like 5 years of just this one same bag, this one trick, and it's not really treating us. So
I would say it differently because it's more about the execution. I think the scheming is fine, but the execution part, considering who is playing quarterback and what he's seeing on the field, I don't think he's executing the plays properly. And that's why I think it's also a little bit of a letdown as far as what we have going on. We have no running game going on. He can't extend plays the way that we would like or what we was hoping to get from before injured Trey. And now we're back with what we started with again. So it's like we know what we're gonna get from Jimmy. We know his tendencies, just like everybody else in the NFL knows the tendencies, but it's just the simple part of the execution. The man will overthrow you or will throw to the opposite team. I.e., look at what he did in Atlanta. Now, granted, both I'm just honest, man. Both interceptions, horrible throws. You know what I'm saying? You have too many times where things could go on, but then again, like like Jamal was saying in there, Wilson Jr. fumbling at the beginning, putting us in a 14-0 hole. But when you have to consider or put the game on Jimmy G's shoulders,
that's one of the things. That's one of the things. Reason I think he brought in C-Mac, Christian McCaffrey, is because you could put a game on his shoulders, and you much rather put a game away by running the ball if you can get away with it by running the ball as opposed to putting it in Jimmy G's hands. I get the frustrations with Jimmy G. There's nothing I understand more than that. Because we felt that same frustrations with Matt Castle, Brody Croyle, so many others, countless others. But we've also felt the same energy you're feeling about Kyle Shanahan not opening up the playbook. We kind of feel that way sometimes about Andy Reid and his schemes. But I think Kyle is like trying to work best with what he has. Right. And sometimes he has, Debo has been injured recently. And, there's been some other situations that have caused him not to have the full complement of his weapons. So he has to maneuver around all that. And it's been tough for him, especially with Jimmy G I don't think he too much trusts Jimmy G, but Jimmy G's the best option for him right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Trey, he went and drafted Trey, but they could never put him in. Every time you try, something happens and he's not there anymore. So now, is it better to go get somebody else, or is it better to keep Jimmy G? Jimmy G, if nothing else, at least knows the system. He might be limited in his play, but he at least knows the system. And at this point, I don't know how much that gives you, but it gives you something.
Yeah, and at this point, it's like we have so many people. It's like this whole laundry list of people out or questionable or whatever the case may be. And then we get into this thing about Jimmy G and the lack of trust based on his limited abilities and stuff like that. So it's hard to be like, okay, well, we got Jimmy. Instead of saying, okay, well, these people are out, but we got Jimmy G. We're just like, okay, well, we got Jimmy G is better than nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it sucks like that we have to be like, okay, we got you. There she is, and like we have him. You know what I mean? And it's like it sucks that we have to think about it like that. We're thinking about we have him in spite of. Or we have him instead of despite of it, you know what I mean? Or I think I got it wrong, but yeah, you know what I mean.
To defend Jimmy G, like last game, the deep passes that he did throw, they actually were on target. They just weren't executed. So it's like even when we did stretch the field, it was a penalty that brought it back. The Brandon Ayuk pass down the field that got brought back. The two that were dropped. The Ray McLeod and the Charlie Warner passes, both of those were, drops. Those were down the field passes. They just weren't executed. Yeah. So it's like we're asking for certain things to be done, but then when they get done, it's the execution part that's not happening. So it's like, damn if we do, damn if we don't right now. And it's like, I had to sit back and think about that question because I was like, it's really not fair to Shanahan that he's getting this type of pushback when the plays are dialed up properly. The execution is piss poor. So it's like,
Yeah.
damn if you do, damn
Oh
if you
God,
don't.
so,
You know what
you
I'm
know,
saying? And that's the part that's
facts,
frustrating
facts.
for him because
Yes.
everybody wants, like I was saying last week, everybody wanted Kyle Shanahan fired. And I'm like, I'm not saying I want him fired, but I
Right.
do question certain
Right.
things, the
Mhm.
execution of certain things. If you're going to get on, granted, I know we have a lot of new coaching on this staff, but at the end of the day, these are professionals that we're dealing with. So
That's
you
right.
got to gear up and figure out however it is that you guys got to make something happen with these teams, because coaching staff or not, things need to be, they need to be executed. I can if Kyle can keep scheming each and every person open, but drops, unmistaken or bad reasons for penalties and everything, that's just poor coaching. That's undisciplined work.
Right.
So who are gonna get mad at? You can't get technically, yes, because at the end of the day, the hierarchy is going to be on Shanahan. So it makes him look bad. But when you think about the plays that aren't being executed, hello, coaches, what are we doing here?
Right.
So he's in a catch-22 situation. It's like, damn, y'all want me to dial up these plays and get aggressive, but fuck, tell these dudes to stop holding. Tell these dudes to catch a ball.
Right. Because the one or two times that he does look at, scan the field and is accurate about it, it's like they're not doing their part.
Blame Jimmy G on every single piece or Kyle.
Right.
That's right.
Right. The one game.
I'm just giving
right.
people
It's the 1 or 2
exactly what
games,
it
but
is.
it's
Like, you got to play both sides of it. I don't care what you wanted back there. You still have to, bring context to what's actually going on the field. And that's exactly what people aren't breaking down. Just because you dislike somebody, that's one thing. But at least if you're gonna, do something, at least credit someone for what they do too. You can't always just be everything. He just sucks. Stop it. Now that's just pure hate.
Now you just mad. Now you just mad. Right.
Yeah, exactly. Like, now, come on, man.
Well, I'll say this.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree with you. And I was just gonna say too, like, if all you were looking at is his misreads, you're missing the person. If all we're looking at is the simple fact that, he does stand statuesque in the pocket. If we're looking at just that, then you're missing the person as well. Because he's not a bad guy. He's really not a bad guy. But I think that to the people that are just like, he sucks, they're looking at the misses. They're not looking at the whole entire body of work. And then you have people like you and I and Gina that are looking at the whole body of work. We're looking at it all objectively, right? We're looking at it not subjectively, objectively, right? And we're looking at it like, okay, he can do this, but he doesn't. He has his moments. He's just not consistent. But people are looking at we're looking at one subject. We're looking at one game, but they're not talking about, what was it, 1, 2, 3 drops last Sunday, if I'm not mistaken. It was at least 2, and they were deep passes. They were at least 40 plus. He doesn't do that all the time. So they're not looking at that either,
They were like, it was like, Jimmy, like unleash Jimmy, that whole like thing that they brought up. Unleash him. Okay, guys, here. He's unleashed. Oh shit. Why aren't they catching the balls? Well,
right.
I think it's funny, like, they unleashed Jimmy, but they unleashed Jimmy to the guys that might not catch those balls.
That too, like Ray and Warner.
But they had to run those guys deep because they were getting by them because they were so
right.
And that's the thing that I said to you earlier, because when CMC's in that backfield, he can do both. So I mean, these defense coordinators are going to have such a freaking headache about who to cover, who to put in as a target, because then all of a sudden Ayuk's going to be open, Kittle's going to be open, someone's going to be left wide open, and we lost Rod.
Oh.
And there's also from what I've read and what I've been told, that they're Kyle's designing red zone packages right now for McCaffrey, and
Oh my goodness.
there's we're stacked with weapons. I mean, you don't even need Jimmy to throw the deep ball at this point.
Right.
You just
You just
need.
need him to be consistent. You just
And
be
what did we
consistent.
have in
So
2019? The top running game. We were like top 3 in the run game that
mhm,
year.
right.
And
We
who
only
did we
lost by like
face?
17 points, right? The
Right.
Chiefs.
I got
And
him.
The thing is,
Thanks.
the thing that bothers me, the thing that gets me about that though, because I agree with you at this, and it's not even a pushback to us, it's just a pushback to our fan base. It's like we go back to 2019. Jimmy was fire. He was fire. I don't know how that got lost or what happened, but you don't lose that fire in the Super Bowl. Period. You don't do the celebration at halftime. You do it when you host that Lombardi Trophy. We still got a
did he
game to
get
play.
to did he get to
You just
Hollywood?
do it. Yeah.
I think
You mean dating the porn star?
yeah. Just the glitz and glam of just being a young, successful, handsome young man in California. He was living it up. Like he was really living it up. And I think that kind of got to him in a way that he didn't realize it was going to. And I don't know anything about his personal life. I have no idea. But
I
I
don't know
do
either.
sense there was something missing
me neither.
somewhere when he was playing in that season afterwards, in 2020 season. I'm like, this is not the same Jimmy. This is not the
Right.
same dude. I don't know what it was, but it just seemed like he was just preoccupied. That's the best word I have for it, preoccupied.
Right. Like it just went from here and it just
Just
declined.
slowly teetered
Yeah.
away.
Right. Slowly just deteriorated. Yeah. And I think that's
I
kind
think
of
the
where
issue.
people get
Is
like
it-
that, you know.
Does anyone think maybe COVID played a point in this?
There we go. That's what I was
I'm
about
just
to say.
asking. I'm just asking a
Yeah.
legit question. I'm not trying to bring that into it, but we did go through that year of football.
No, it's a
We
legit
did. We
possibility.
did. We did. No, that's a perfectly legitimate question.
I mean, think
And I
about
think our
think about the
team and a couple of
camaraderie.
others were like the only ones that weren't so inundated with COVID, thank God. But then I think, well,
But not
we are
only
in
that,
California, which is Northern California, and they, we just got so hard nosed about COVID. I'm really not talking shit because
You
I
mean
work for
you
the
mean
state.
when we had to play in Arizona
thank
and had to
you.
We had to
Thank
play
had
you.
to
in
That's
share the
exactly what I was about
stadium?
to say.
we had to play
We had
on
to
We
share
national
the
the
fucking
only team
stadium.
that had to share another stadium. Like that's what I was
I'm
about to say.
saying.
I said it's a whole bunch of that 2020 season that was different. Like you have to
That's what
share
I'm
a
at. Like,
stadium,
could have
move
that
away.
changed
That's
Jimmy
a
a
whole
lot?
lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
It
When
could
you're
have,
not
no
able to sleep
doubt.
in your own bed every
There
night,
could have been factors in that, yeah. Empty
and then
stadiums, not hearing everybody, not,
you can't
yeah.
even sit around. You can't
I
even sit
mean,
around the
this is
players.
stuff to
You
look
can't
at
sit
too,
around your team.
unfortunately.
Huh?
Yeah. No, you're right. You're
This is
right.
stuff to
Like a
look
lot
at
of that
too
stuff.
about things that play into people's world, mind, mess with their head. You know,
Yeah.
I
That
mean,
definitely messed with a
look at the
lot of
World
people's
Series
heads.
like that year when it was
Yeah,
played in Texas and they were allowed to have people.
yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it
It was
does.
wild. 2020 was wild. Think about the guys, the rookies that
Wild.
came in that year. You had Brandon Ayuk. He didn't even have an off season. Like he said it. He was like, I didn't even know what to do during the off season, like going into the league, because he was like, we couldn't practice, we couldn't
Yeah.
go anywhere, we couldn't do anything. You got to remember that year too. Debo broke his ankle before the season started,
Right.
so we had to
Yeah.
roll into the season with people getting hurt. Remember week 2, the Meadowland catastrophe. You had 2 people go down with ACL tears for the
Yep.
season, i.e.
For the
Yep.
Bosa,
season.
Thomas,
Right.
like a
Solomon,
whole
yep.
bunch of that stuff. That year
Solomon,
just
yep.
went straight down the drain
Yeah.
quickly. It was over.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it has a lot to do with it for sure.
It was like it was
Yeah.
over before it began.
It was definitely
Right.
over before it started.
Rod, like real talk, it really was.
I call it our wheelchair season.
And that's the thing,
Big
people are
time.
not talking
Big
about that,
time.
right? It was like convalescence.
You was like,
Like,
what? Yeah, really.
It makes
You know what I
sense.
mean? It was
It
whole
definitely
ass
makes sense.
convalescent season because because that's just it. Like we're thinking about it objectively. Our fan base, sadly, thinks about it subjectively. They're only looking at one person. They're looking at one thing, and that's number
That's how
10.
it happens. And it's
So I
always
want
And
to
it's just like, damn.
ask wait, this question. Now that CMC is here, like how confident we are with Jimmy. I mean, obviously he doesn't oh, Rod, you had jumped out inadvertently, when I was saying this, but now Jimmy doesn't have to throw the deep balls necessarily, you know, because now we're so stacked with our run game and our guys are, with Debo and Christian McCaffrey, like even George Kittle, they're like positionless, we got blockers, we got runners, we've got receivers. Like, how, like, does it change your confidence in Jimmy? Like, all he has to do is hand off the fucking ball, Like, what do you think?
You still can't
I
have a
think
predictable game plan just because you still need to take certain shots down the field. Like
Right.
you have to make defenses guess. You can't just be a one-trick pony and expect
Sure.
shit to keep happening. You know what I'm saying? That's insanity. We
Right.
we
Right.
already know what the definition is. So it's like you
Mhm.
gotta make these safeties cheat up with the run. Then that's what sets up the play action for get Danny Gray to run down the field to open up to make that, to open up what's in the middle. Because if you flank her out or on the side that you have, McCaffrey running out, that opens up the field for Kittle in the middle, Debo in the middle, Ayuk in the middle. First of all, whoever the second cornerback is, having to guard Brandon Ayuk, good luck. And that's the biggest thing because, in my opinion, he is the biggest wild card in the entire picture outside of Juice. That I really feel like, and I would hope Shanahan can scheme up things for Juice, and then I hope Jimmy can actually hit Juice. Juice is able in this offense now more than ever to truly become the Swiss Army knife that nobody can see coming. Because when you break down things, who can truly guard Juice coming out of the backfield as slow as he runs? Now you got McCaffrey on the opposite side. You still got to guard Debo over there. You're worried about Kittle in the middle on tight end Sunday. Then you got Ayuk on the outside. It's a lot of issues that you got to think about. The only and the common denominator of it all is what is Jimmy going to do? And don't make costly turnovers. That's
Right.
I
it.
do have a
Correct.
question.
Yeah.
When it comes to why isn't Kittle more involved when you don't trust when I don't trust my quarterback, I lean more into give him a big body with soft hands to throw to. Therefore, I always wonder why why Kittle isn't more part of that offense than he already is. Because I know he's a great blocker. He's an amazing blocker. I love that about him.
Right.
Um, but if you look at the Chiefs scheme, we basically our tight end is our number one receiver. And I can see the same happening. It could happen for the 49ers if they allow it to happen. I just think I always think that a wavering quarterback, his best friend is a big body with soft hands. And Kittle is the epitome of that. You know what I mean? So I would assume that he would get a good amount of targets if they're schemed up that way. Because I understand it's all of what the scheme dictates. I get that.
I love this question, and I've been talking about this for a couple of weeks. See, there's a thing called, and I think everybody, I'll do it in a dating form, because I think everybody can relate to it. Anytime behind closed doors, things are sweet, and then when you get around your friends, you try and turn and change the way that you treat your significant other. So that
Preach.
now, remember, and I don't know if you pay attention to a lot of what the Niners do, Jimmy G and Kittle were best friends riding to the games with Juice, last year. Once Jimmy G was supposedly not supposed to be a part of this roster and wasn't returning phone calls, I think Kittle took that to heart, along with Jimmy G. If you notice, they asked questions at the last presser, I think it was yesterday, to Jimmy, and Jimmy had to answer questions about Kittle. And I can tell in his body language, you can tell that was uncomfortable. It wasn't genuine like it had been for years. Remember, they were wearing T-shirts, having each other on T-shirts, and he was my best friend and buddy this and buddy that. Now it's, we're good to have him back. He's cool, we can get things going and blah, blah, blah. The only person that came to his savior was Juice, because Juice was the only one that said, now we can get back to 49er football. Kittle didn't say that.
I mean, it's like they're whole ass frenemies now.
Exactly. They're not going to express it outwardly on.
And I just happened to wear his jersey tonight.
Exactly. They're not going to express it outwardly to us, but I think behind those closed doors. No. And now you looking at Brandon Ayuk. Brandon Ayuk sits back and goes like this. Oh, Kittle. No. Remember that was your buddy? No, stay over there. Remember? You was cool. Y'all was buddy last year. And now Brandon Ayuk is like this. Now look at you guys. You know what I'm saying?
That plays into the whole question that I had earlier. Did he get too Hollywood? He got a little bit too Hollywood. So I mean, that's definitely got to be part of it. Got to be. So
on top of it, you got to remember too, Kittle is the past 3 years, Kittle's been injury prone.
Yes. And that's unfortunate.
Kelsey stays on the field.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate. For sure.
Kelsey stays on the field.
I don't like comparing them, but they are two of the most talented receiving tight ends in the league, no matter what anyone says. Yeah. No matter the injury, they are two of the best. And so I have to always, ask about that when I'm talking to 49ers fans.
But how much is Kelsey used as a blocker compared to Kittle?
Not nearly as much. Not nearly as much.
That's the difference, I think.
Exactly.
He gets used, but it tends to be more downfield, or it tends to be with the routes that he runs. He ends up, rub routes, stuff like that. He ends up blocking in that way. But if you look at the Bills game last year with the Chiefs, and sometimes Kelsey wants to block. It's not a thing that he can't do. It's something that he wants to do. But he's so good at catching the football.
Right. He's your biggest weapon.
You don't think he wants to have a pen? You don't think he wants to have a pancake walk to talk about Christmas?
Of course he does, Adam.
With his brother?
He'd rather have 4 touchdowns in one fucking game. I don't blame him.
And he only had 25 yards.
Only 25 yards. Like
25 yards and 4 touchdowns.
He can do it so many ways. He's so versatile in that way, and it's amazing for me to see. And so you don't want him blocking all the time. You want him catching the ball, especially when Patrick Mahomes gets into those tight situations. And that's what I be thinking when it comes to Kittle. But it just hasn't worked out that way, and it's probably for the reasons that you all just laid out.
I've watched these all 22s, and I've looked at Kittle coming off the, in past plays and stuff, and I'm like, he could have hit Kittle on that play. He could have hit Kittle on that play. He could have hit Kittle on that play. And now I'm like, something's not right in this situation at all with their chemistry. Their chemistry, in my opinion, is partly tweaked or touched. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like it's an uncomfortable situation that's going on in there where it's like, I don't know. I genuinely don't know. And it's
they need a big night out drinking or what?
Huh?
Do you think they need a big night out drinking to
settle
some issues and then be boys in the morning?
But will that actually happen?
It's just like what Rod and I were talking about a couple shows ago. Like, when they put when George was on the presser and talking about, well, George said, well, he didn't call me back, in the off season. Jimmy's like, excuse me? Oh, it's like that, George?
Exactly.
Right.
You got to remember too, and Shannon Sharp always talks about this. Quarterbacks are the most fragile people on the field.
They are.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, you see
Anything
some of
that
these
touches-
roughing the passer calls; they sure are fragile.
Exactly. Anything that touches their ego, oh, I don't like you anymore. And you got to remember, Kittle is an all-pro. So
Yeah.
why
Shout
would
out
you
to
go from
Mariah.
Kittle being an all-pro? He's one of the top 100 players. To now, he looks like he's non-existent.
Mm.
You is hanging in there for just a little bit longer. We're going to ask him a question about, let's kind of tie in two questions at the same time, about how you feel about Tyreek being gone. Do you think you can make it to the AFC Championship without him? And
Ooh.
how confident are you in your roster, like this season compared to last season?
Oh.
This is a real hard question here.
So I'll do a little switcheroo here so everyone
And
can see where I'm going.
the reason I say that is because if you look at this time last year, we were still having trouble. We had lost 3 or 4 games, and we were coming just trying to figure out who we are. We're playing up, we're playing down, and we don't know what we're doing. We don't know who we're getting, what team we're getting week to week. And like the Teddy Bridgewater Broncos were first in the division, and it just looked like the Chiefs were getting punched in the mouth down and out. We were throwing Patrick Mahomes throwing interceptions. Tyreek, everything was ricocheting off his hands. So we were in a worse position record wise. Now we were eventually able to figure it out, right? And get to that AFC Championship game where it just looked bad. That's another story for another time. But fast forward to now, Tyreek wants to get paid. Go get your money, young man. Go get your money. I understand it. It sucks. I really wish they had got that deal done, because him plus a Juju Smith-Schuster plus a Sky Moore, it probably would have been different, but there's no sense in crying over spilled milk. We got to do what we got to do now. We do miss that deep threat, but last year they were taking that away from us anyway because of the 2 deep shell. They were taking it away from us with high safety. They were taking it away from us in multiple ways. So we had to do everything, the middle of the field, short yardage, and the run game. So we're back to that right now. The issue is that Tyreek and Kelsey know Patrick Mahomes because they've been to battle with this guy. Juju Smith-Schuster, Sky Moore, all these dudes are still learning Patrick. And it just takes time. That's all it takes. And I can't say the sky is falling right now. We're 4-2. Right? I think it's 4-2.
Yeah.
We're
You are.
4-2. And the bye week is on the way. Andy Reid tends to give us new things during the bye week. So, sky's not falling yet. We're still first in the AFC West. But they do need to pick it up. It's time to start getting into gear. We done played in the post preseason, which I call the first 4 games of the season. And now we're into the thick of it. Now it's time where you separate the men from the boys, the tools from the toys. It's time to stop playing around and get it done. That's all.
That's right.
I got a question.
Same
I got a question for the Chiefs defense. Do you guys miss Mooney, Ward, and Matthews?
Now, look, I think we miss Charvarius, because Charvarius has this thing. He came in as a 7th round pick from, I want to say, either Houston or Miami. I can't remember which one.
Houston.
But he grew to be a really solid cornerback in this system. he grew to be a very solid quarterback. And so, yeah, we miss him. Matthew, in my opinion, not so much, because Matthew started making business decisions. You know, he started openly criticizing a couple of guys on the field. If you noticed a few games, he had his hands up in the air, like, "What are you doing?" You know, stuff like that. And you're starting to see that bleed into the Saints system too. Like, he's not
showing teammates up.
You're right. He's just not the same dude that they brought him in here to be. And not only that, but he's a year older. He's 30, or he's like 29, 30 now. And so the Chiefs went into a youth movement last year or this season. This is youth movement. So even no matter what, yeah, we're going to miss him. But as far as the production is concerned, we're going to miss him. But the thing is, the Chiefs decided they were going to use this year to take a step back in order to next year move forward. And so that's just a necessary evil. And I hated that Charvarius Ward left us. I wish he was able to stay, but
I'm glad that y'all didn't pay him. I'm glad that y'all didn't pay him. Thank you.
Yeah, he deserves to be paid, especially as a 7th round pick or 6th or 7th round pick. He overplayed his draft status for me.
Yeah. Glad that y'all didn't show him the money. All right, we appreciate
How important was it for Harrison Butker to come back?
Harrison Butker, yeah, we needed him back. Like, I think he's off the injury report now.
He is.
Say that again?
He played last game.
Yeah, he played last game, but I think he's actually completely off of it. I thought that he still might have some issues moving forward, but he's completely off of the injury list, which is great because we had Amendola who was doing fine, then he just wasn't. And now he went to the Cardinals and messed their chance of winning up. So that was like a game ago.
Well, the Cardinals already got rid of him and went with Blankenship.
Right. They dropped him as soon as that game was over. He probably had to take his own ride home. So you never know how much you need a kicker until you don't have one. And we are glad to have Butker back for sure.
We had a punter kick our tried to.
Glad it was against Carolina.
At this point, look, we had our leading safety, Justin Reed. He was out there doing kickoffs for us in the first or second minute.
Kicks though.
But he's good. He used to be a soccer player back in the day, and so he knows what he's doing a little bit.
Yeah,
That's cool.
I was like,
things you learn. That's cool.
Like back in the 60s and stuff when the people did defense, kicking, and everything else. Like there's a couple guys worth a lot of points.
Yeah.
The one guy had over 1,600 points as a kicker, and then I don't even know how many points he had as a regular player. It was crazy.
Right. Double duty.
Hey, you
Triple
before
duty.
you
You play defense too.
Hey, you, before you go, I got to show you this 49er hype video that Shell made.
Oh, look forward to it.
It's only going to be 1 minute long.
Cool.
Okay, hang in there. All right, everybody, watch this. All right.
That was really good. That was
I
really
was
good.
waiting for Christian McCaffrey to come out of nowhere.
I know.
I
Had him coming off the plane or something. I was
Like-
about to be
Like rip through the screen, like rah!
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then it said game changer.
that was great. That was
That
absolutely
was a
great.
good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, Shell, you couldn't hear the music?
I heard the music. So.
I heard
I
it.
heard it
music. It was
too.
blaring in my ear.
Yeah, it was definitely playing in my ear.
Yeah,
She
mine
got-
too.
I
I
got
think.
embarrassed and left. I don't know what happened.
Oh, you know what? No, no. I think she's having sound issues. Maybe it's her new laptop.
Probably.
Yeah. You know what? That happened to me when I had when I got mine. Yay, Mariah approves. Thanks, Mariah. Yay, kudos to Shell.
Absolutely.
She makes those
Wait, hold on.
bomb
What
ass.
was that?
What are you doing?
I hit the wrong button.
Oh, snap.
All right.
So,
we good?
Hey,
All right, sorry
Mariah.
about that.
but yeah, that was amazing.
Most definitely. Most definitely.
A score prediction before you go, you?
Ooh, yeah.
And don't forget, we're playing in Levi's.
I think
2012 league, 2012 team will be there too. Just saying.
I don't like doing score predictions because it never feels like enough. But I do feel like the defense will step up no matter what Jimmy G does. He might even be able to take advantage of a couple of our defensive backs because they're young. A couple of them every so often because they're rookies, and McDuffie's back from this game, so I'm gonna pick the Chiefs to win, but I'm gonna say 2024 Chiefs win. I want it to be more, but for some reason it just doesn't feel like it's gonna be much more than 2024.
Well, they're playing at home, so you know what I say. Niners by 20!
I love when Gina gets hyped.
No
I love
doubt,
it.
no
I
doubt.
love it. I love it.
Because I don't give a fuck.
Oh, well, I
I'm
definitely
thinking this is the breakout game for Jimmy.
You think so?
I'm thinking he's had enough of this bullshit talk around this town.
I really think the same though, Adam.
It's
My,
starting to look
I think
like
my
it, at
thing
least.
is, I feel like this is my thing. If Mooney Ward plays on Sunday, we win because he takes one side of the field away.
He does.
Then you have Bosa on the line. That also changes up a lot going on our line because you can have Ebukam on the other side, you can have Jackson on the other side, or you can have all three of them at the same time running. So that is when you bring the most pressure. We already know what our linebackers do. Kelsey, I'm hoping D'Amico Ryans in some way, shape, form, or fashion can take Kelsey out the game. Very hard, very difficult to do.
Very
Easier
difficult.
said than done. But if you can minimize his receptions and especially if you can hold him to 24 or 25 yards, less touchdowns, like 0 or 1, we might come out with a victory. That's all I'm saying.
Shout
So,
out to
you just
Peachy
never
in the
know.
chat.
What's up, Peachy? Hey, blessings to your father and everything, and then some. Truly.
Period.
And we didn't get to this, but it wasn't. I mean, we kind of already know how we deal with mobile quarterbacks. Can our injured defense stop Mahomes? I don't even think that's an issue. So we already know we have trouble against mobile quarterbacks. We know that we're getting guys in. Hopefully, Ward plays. Charvarius. I think we're just gonna have to fucking do our best, and
See, that's the thing, and also he knows Patrick Mahomes' tendencies, so he might have a little bit of an advantage there. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
is Mahomes actually a mobile quarterback, or is he a
Scrambler.
He's a
yeah, or
magician.
is he keeping the play alive a little longer than normal?
That's what he is right there. He's a keeper play
That's-
You know
alive.
what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah.
He's not a
'Cause
mobile quarterback.
You
mobile
know what?
quarterbacks,
You're
you know,
onto
you
something
Lamar
there.
Jacksons. You know what
He
I'm
will.
saying? And I don't know
He's
if he's
no
on
Lamar.
that, you know, that Josh Allen type, mobile quarterback, that type. I think he can extend a play, and then when certain things break down, yeah, he takes
Yeah.
off. And I feel
Yeah.
like if Jimmy G would compartmentalize that in his brain, that hey, certain things open up, you can take off in the middle,
Right.
but you know that's another story for another game. But
If I see Mahomes doing a 360 before he hits an end zone, I'm gonna be screaming at my fucking TV.
then also we gotta
Facts.
remember too, we can't
You
let
mean a
him
jump
get held
pass?
during the fucking game either.
That was
That
crazy.
what?
That's where he was going down and just.
I mean, god damn.
That was just
Why did
crazy.
he take this and just? Why did he take this and just go? Here you go. Like it wasn't. Damn.
Like serious.
We gotta minimize Jimmy G's costly turnovers. I don't need a ends or interception at the wrong time. That's
Hey,
when the shit
but-
is frustrating.
Yes.
you're
Yeah.
right. You're right. But the
And
defense,
keep
the
the
Chiefs
flags
defense,
out. Please keep the flags.
the
Please,
Chiefs
God.
defense is they aren't really known for taking away the ball at this moment anyway. So I'm not saying that he can't throw them, but I'm just saying that we're not that take the ball away defense right now. So
But you know what? I hear that, but I've heard that for the past, arguably, since the season started. And we just played against the Falcons, and the Falcons had one of the worst defensive coverages, defensive backfields that were terrible. And look what our execution ended up being.
but let's be real, the Falcons actually have like one takeaway per game this season. So they're not scrubs. So they just kind of just opportunistic, I guess is the best word for them. But
They schemed everything properly for our comical offense that we continue to run, and
okay,
the
I give you
execution doesn't
that.
get
I
done.
give you that.
Like
I give you that.
I'm not going to sugarcoat my squad now. Like we just got to come here and call spade. Like
I'm
it
with
is what
you
it
on
is
that.
in the situation.
I'm with you on that. But unfortunately, I do have to go, and I hope to come back on soon.
Yes, yes, you.
And I will definitely be in. I will connect with each of you all because I got to have you on my show too. So I
Absolutely.
appreciate the introduction. I appreciate all the fans out there that's listening. I appreciate you letting me come on. I really do appreciate it.
Thanks. And
Dude,
before
nice
you
meeting
go,
you, man.
where
Nice to
where
meet
can we
you,
find you?
I'm on Twitter. That is I am you. That's the letter U, not the word. I am you NKC on Twitter, and I'm recording the Mike and You podcast. I'm recording a new episode with the Mike tomorrow, and then I'm taking a bye week on the 100-yard dash this week, and then I'll be back at it next week. So
Right on. Yay. And I was on an episode of the 100-yard dash. So
yes,
and
it was
I've
great
called
episode.
I've called into the line on the Mike and You podcast, and it was like the 49ers are gonna win this week and blah blah blah.
Yeah, we love hearing from Gina. We do. But
She is
thanks
the
again.
Hey, man,
Shit.
truly appreciate you.
Thank
Really
you. Thank
appreciate
you for
bro.
coming on the
you.
show.
Yes.
All right, thanks.
Thanks,
Deuces.
you.
Right. Oh
Been
man,
dope.
that was good.
Yeah, this has been dope. I loved it. I loved it. I love
Yeah, that was
hearing
cool.
about the opposite team, you know, the defense and what we got to go up against. I just feel like it just comes down to execution at the end of the day. As long as we
Yep.
can execute what we have, the scheming, it's been there since forever. We just mentally have to get focused. We went down this path last year, 3-5, going into something. Right now we're 500, 3-3. We have the opportunity to turn things around. This is the time of the season where everybody was concerned. Now this
Right.
is the opportunity where we can take advantage of what we got going on and can dictate the rest of our season from here
Mhm.
on out. So a lot of things are in our hands.
I feel like it can only go up from here.
Yeah.
I mean,
As long as their heads are in the game, there's
Mhm.
nowhere but up for
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
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 I feel so good right now. Like I really have
I'm
this
so
feeling
optimistic about it. Yeah.
that we're this is it. Like we're winning the
I
Super
agree.
Bowl.
I hope
I
so.
agree.
I
We're
hope
I
so.
feel like
fucking
I hope
winning.
so.
we gotta get Mooney Ward. We gotta get Mooney Ward back. I just feel
Yeah.
like with Mooney Ward at least taking away one side. Let me just say this. Let's say Brett actually is good to go. Like,
Oof.
Mhm.
Yeah.
let's say if he does, everything clicks with him. Now remember, who's behind them? If Hufanga is up and rolling and has cleared the protocol and is actually in tuned and ready to roll, our somewhat question mark will be what's going on with Mr. Club, Jimmy Ward, and what can that hand and what can he present on the defense. Outside of that, we could still keep rolling right now. You know, I just feel like if Mooney Ward is ready to go and he's not questionable, he's not game time decision, he's good, ready to go. I think we can
Shit.
do something. We can really do something because now you're giving
Yeah.
a full week into having McCaffrey, the Stanford mindset, get into that playbook, learn just a little bit of the scheme that can get him certain positions and certain
Right.
things where opening up gaps and running through a 2 or a 3 hole and make it happen. This can get scary real quick.
Real quick. Yeah.
Real quick.
I mean, it's
We're
he's
winning.
he's a fast study, and I want us to win. I do. It's just that I'm going to be cautiously optimistic about this one because we have a laundry list. We have a coaching mindset that's very conservative. We have someone that doesn't pull the trigger. We have somebody that does get. Should I
I'm
play? Should I run? Should I go? However, if we go to Arizona and we take this, and I'll see y'all on Market Street.
I
But
tell you this.
I'm
I'm
just
not
gonna
putting
be
it
I'm
in
just gonna be
Kyle's
cautious
hands.
about it.
I'm
No,
putting
me
it in the
neither.
players' hands. It's in
Yeah,
the
same.
players are gonna win this shit, not Kyle. I'll tell
Question.
you that much.
Do you guys think
Players are gonna
that
be like, "Fuck you, Kyle. I'm running this shit."
I got a question. Do you guys think that in a
Just yell at
way
me for hating my head coach.
Huh?
Don't yell at me for hating my head coach.
Right.
But you guys just tear your head coach to fucking shreds.
Shut up. Wait, Rod, what were you gonna say?
Do you think that there was a possibility, a slight possibility that Kyle Shanahan was on the high seat a little bit?
Yeah.
I do
Yeah.
too.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Me too.
Absolutely. And I'm not saying fired,
No.
but just like
What's
under
going on?
pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
This will be your
Yes.
last move.
Mhm.
And if
Yep.
this shit don't work, start
Mhm.
looking. Start looking.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
think he saved himself one more season,
Yep.
i.e., because McCaffrey
Yep.
doesn't know fully the whole,
Yep.
playbook, and Trey
Yeah.
got hurt, so we'll figure this out next year. I think he bought himself 1 year next year. After next year, gloves are off.
Yeah.
I really feel like if you don't get deep into the playoffs or win it,
Mhm.
I feel like you still have to win it all. And even
Yeah.
if you win it
Yeah.
all, Jimmy G, I feel like it's still gone. Like,
Because
I think he'll do
Kyle's
it.
below 500 coach.
You're right.
That's a
You're right.
fact. Just like
Right.
Jimmy didn't get us to the Super Bowl or get us an NFC
a
Championship.
fact.
He helped.
Right.
That's the
He
fact.
helped, right?
That's
But
the
he didn't.
fact.
So
Exactly.
That's a fact.
Kyle's
Yep.
not a winning coach. That's
Nope.
a fact.
That's a
Fact.
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 The only wins he does have is because
I'm
of
still
Jimmy's
accepting
wins in the regular
Danielle's trade.
season. And if you're 39 and 42 and 33 came from regular season shit, I don't know. But
Yeah. Yeah.
I think with grabbing CMC and giving up all your Halloween candy that you just went up and down these hills to get, imagine a kid walking up and down What's a good hilly neighborhood? The Potrero District, right? It's
Right.
nothing but hills in the Potrero District. Can
Oh,
you imagine these kids hoofing up the hill with a costume on and got this big old bag, and then they get to the bottom of the hill and they see that bully and they just go here.
oh
They just go
no,
here. It's a whole.
we used to
Remember
go
the
do the
pillowcases we
hills.
used to do?
Oh
That?
my God. Why did my mom make me use pillowcases?
So you can bash people.
Loved it.
Shit.
Right? Just bam.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
I was like, Mom, this is so ghetto.
But but the candy you would bring home. Oh my God. I was just like, we would bring home like these. We would have the garbage bags. So we would take those or our backpacks, whatever came
My
from
mom and dad
we bring
said
it home
that
and
they had
dump
to go through our candy in case there was bad candy. And then she told me years and years later it was
They just
because
wanted candy.
they wanted to eat our
Yeah, they just
candy.
want to eat the candy. They just instead of the parents just being honest and saying, "Hey, can I get some
Yeah,
of your candy?" Because
yeah.
they knew they didn't want to go out and
Mhm.
buy their own
That was a
candy. They just
media.
wanted some of
That was a
yours.
media thing. The media is always like, check your child's candies.
Right,
So they
Well,
were
that
saying,
But but
well
if you
that
check the candy
too.
before you hand it out, you shouldn't have no problems. Come on now.
But
look,
then
I
Anybody
but
that
dumped it on
then
the
buys your
floor
candy
in
to
the
pass
living
it
room in
out, you
front of
should be
me and
checking
said
it. Come on
but
inspect. I
then
now.
didn't want
I
them
did
putting
that
a
to my
pillowcase.
son. But then I fucking said, "Hey, Eden, I got to check your candy."
I'm with Mariah. I used the pillowcase because it fit more. No, that
I
motherfucker
agree.
got heavy as fuck.
I agree.
But that
Well,
Listen,
shit got.
and then the plastic ones, you know how it hurt your
hey,
hand after a while. I was like, "Oh,
right, oh
my
my
hand,"
See,
because I
as
You
I
look
really
got
like
wanted to
older,
use it.
you look like the dad trying to
oh
carry like
shit.
35 garbage or shopping bags in at one time. Like I
It's
got
all
this.
red.
Yeah.
see, as I got older,
We
I
all
got smarter. Like once I got older, it was
Mhm.
like, you know what? Stop going to the neighborhoods. Go to the mall. The mall used to give you
Ah,
candy that was. They
Right.
used to dump candy into your bags,
oh
and I
my
was like,
God.
"Is this how you do it?" Like, fuck a neighborhood. They're giving out bolos of candy. Fuck these niggas. I
I
don't
started
walk
going
at
to
night.
flat
Just go
neighborhoods.
here and do
No,
this shit.
you know who gives you good candy too are liquor stores.
Yes.
They give you
Yeah,
good
those
Yes.
candy.
adults.
Yes.
They
Oh,
leave like a whole thing and they go ahead,
Go
just put
ahead.
your
Take it
hand in
all.
there.
I
And I'm like,
right.
agree. I
Just like
agree.
heck yeah.
Those were the good days. Those were the
Yes.
exact good days. I feel like
Oh, that
too,
was good
if
times.
you rolled up to a house that had like elderly people that kept the light on, oh, they were gonna give you the most
The
like
king
expensive candy.
if
Like
they,
you
king
were
size
not
especially if
candy.
they
giving
Yeah.
took too long to get to the door.
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
what's the problem? What's taking them so long? Then once they open the door, you're like,
And they're like, come
whoa, like
in.
you thought you hit the jackpot. You had people walking down the street behind you, and they're looking like, damn, you got that? Hey, let me go knock on this door. I'm just telling you, man.
Right.
It was
I
like
was
you were chasing
confident.
homes when you were a kid instead of actually, oh,
Yes,
fuck that
and we
house. I'm
did
not
not
going to that
care.
house.
We did not care. It'd
Yeah.
be some wild
Did
ass houses, and we
did
did not
anyone make
care.
it back home to drop off the pillowcase and grab another one to go back out?
No,
Yes.
No.
I
Yeah,
didn't.
Oh, you
I've done.
did?
No,
I've made.
no, because we always drove to a good neighborhood to go trick or treating. We
I
never went trick or treating
wish,
by our house.
I wish I had good neighborhoods that I could have. My parents were welcoming and wanting to get in a vehicle to take me to. It was, you get your ass out and go get your candy, or you staying in the fucking house. You choose. You know what? This is the only night I get to stay out past the, the light being
Yeah,
on
Right.
and going
yeah.
out there and getting my candy. Let me take this, advantage. And then, as well, I can't speak for everybody. I had my bad days, my younger years. I started bag snatching. Being
Oh, you ought
honest.
to be ashamed of yourself.
Yes, I am ashamed, but at least I'm honest and admitting right here, right now that
That saves a
That
lot of
shit
walking,
bad.
don't
yeah, I knew who walked down the street. Man, let me get that candy. Let me get that.
it?
And then they would figure out,
That's
like, how
good.
did you get all this candy?
Not
And
the
yeah, I'm
little
passing out the
Bobby.
candy that I
Love it.
took from you. You just didn't know it was me.
Oh my god. Go sit down.
No, we
Oh, dog.
when I was real little, like I don't know, I guess like 6 or whatever, I lived in Potrero Hill And then my cousins lived in the Mission across the street from the Safeway on 30th and Mission.
Oh,
So
yeah, okay.
so my mom had the car, and we'd go pick up my cousins and my aunt, and we drive over to Upper Noe by like Church and 28th.
Oh, yeah,
So
that's way
we
up
would
there, yeah.
we would trick or treat over there in those hills. And I was just talking to my mom about how I'm like, I remember being windy and you guys would sit in the car and make us climb up those hills in the wind. And we'd be like, we don't want to go over here. It's too cold. They're like, go up there and go trick or treat. Like
Back in the
yelling
day,
at us.
what-
There
Mad.
was no cell
Like
phones
it was
then
a
either, so
job.
there was like real talk going
Cell
on.
phones. Shit. Yeah, right.
No,
Not
that's
back
what I
in my
said.
day.
There were none. So like the aunt and the mom were talking. Like there was no
Yeah,
playing
they were
on
like,
phones.
get your asses up there and go walk up that hill and trick or treat. And don't come back until that pillowcase is half full. And we're like, oh, crying and shit. And like, I'm the oldest. My brother's the second oldest. And then there's two other cousins. And I'm, of course, like, in charge. So, like, I'm like, come on, guys. And we're like walking up. And them hills in San Francisco, as you guys, two of you know, are pretty fucking steep. So,
I
like,
watched Full House. I saw some of them hills.
yeah. Well,
But the
they're a
hills
little
she's talking
steeper
about
than
were
that.
like, whoop, they're
They're
like
a
this.
little
They're
bit
not like,
more steep. Yeah.
they're
So
like
I'm like,
this. Yeah, and they're
I'm
like,
like,
not
come on,
like,
guys.
okay.
Hey,
And then
some of
and you're
those
wearing
hills-
those
some of those
masks.
Oakland hills are bad too. By the sequoias.
Yeah.
And the sequoias are bad up there.
Yes.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like what was that? What was it? Music in the Redwoods used to be up there, and it used to be windy and hilly up there like
It
crazy.
gets cold here in the Bay Area. Yeah. Like, it's no
Yes.
joke.
And then you're trying
gotta
to
be
walk up the
prepared for
hill
that.
with a mask and a costume and a
Right?
bag. You
And remember
tired, you sweat.
those masks back in the day? Like, you couldn't even see out of
You
them.
couldn't even see, yeah. Much less
Like, I'm
breathe.
gonna be Jason again this year, just so I can wear a hockey mask.
Man,
All
those
we
were
need,
some
all we
times.
need is Shell with her helmet on for next week's show.
Yeah.
That could
I'm
be
surprised she didn't put it on.
yeah. That can be her costume. She can come in as
That's my costume every year. I'm a football player.
There you
every
go.
single
There you
year.
go. There you go. Number one fan. And that's
Cheap
what we're
and
about.
easy.
Number one fan. That's for sure. A lot of
I
people don't
know.
know this. And for my family, I share this because this is the number one reason why I wasn't a Raider fan. My uncle is Violator. I don't know if you know that from the Raiders. So the Raiders, they had the guys that had the horns.
Oh,
That
yeah.
come out. He wear 57 on his jersey. He had black, all that. He's in the Hall of Fame right now. His real name is Wayne Mabry. That is my uncle.
Wow.
He goes by Violator, if you ever know, for real. And that is
Wow.
legit my uncle. So I'm going to try and work something out for the first year and see if we might get him on.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna
That'd
try
be
to work something out.
dope.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to work something out.
Dude, if we could get him for
yes.
the fucking when we play the Raiders.
That's why I was speaking on. Yeah. I'm gonna try and
That's
work
what he's
something out
talking
for
about. Yeah.
Oh,
Before
that
next
new
year.
year. No, because I
You
was
can
like,
see him
wait a
before.
minute, what year?
I'm gonna try and see if he'll come on with the whole makeup and everything on. I'm gonna tell him to do that.
Yeah.
Like he's
That'd be sick.
he's live and
That
breathe,
that
die
is hard.
hard, like the whole
He's a
family,
real
like
one.
his
That
wife,
would be
my
sick.
Wait,
my
the one that's
cousin.
always on TV. He's the
Yeah.
one that's always on TV, right?
Yeah.
With the not the one with the spikes, but the other one, right? With the that's the
No,
gorilla
he's the
dude.
one with the spikes.
Wow.
He's one of the originators. Yes. Yeah. Look
Wow.
at Google him. His
The
name is
one that be
Wayne
standing
Mabry.
next to the gorilla dude with the hat and all that shit, with the whole ass
He wears 57 jersey. His name is Wayne Mabry. Look him up. He goes by Violator. No lie.
Wow.
No lie.
Tell me.
Think I'm
again.
lying, look it up. This is on the World Wide Web. So I don't have to.
Damn,
Yeah.
that's dope.
I'm
Yeah,
not
that's
looking up. I'm not looking up shit, but I have a Franco Harris jersey on.
Yeah.
and not Franco.
Hey, Adam, we got to put that on the conversation room.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to make that happen. I'm definitely gonna try to make that happen.
Yes, that
if
would
we
be
can
so
get 'em,
cool.
yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be tight.
Yeah.
Then next week, I can arguably for sure have a Rams fan on here. I have a cousin again. He's a diehard Rams fan.
Okay,
And he wants to get on and talk
let's
shit.
go.
And I want that smoke with him.
Let's go.
He's gonna talk. He's part of the family. He's gonna talk shit and
Awesome.
I love it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
So we can talk about that. I mean, I know we're live and everything, but yeah.
It's all good.
Right. It's
I
you know what?
know.
We could use this as one of the shorts maybe for the upcoming shows on TikTok or
Yeah.
what else do we got? Instagram. I don't even know. I get so
I know.
confused.
We need to upload videos. We need someone who's or maybe Rod or Michelle could help. I don't because
Michelle
Adam
does
won't even
videos
give
on
me the
Michelle's Instagram.
password.
I don't even
We
know
need-
the password.
We need to upload
my Twitter
videos to our
password.
TikTok. Anyhow, we'll change it, but do a different password.
I signed in from Twitter.
Well, anyway,
I didn't
we
mean
need.
to.
If I could finish my sentence, please. Thank
Mom,
you.
go ahead, Mom. Go ahead.
Love
We
I
need
like
to
it.
upload videos to our YouTube. And I mean, you see now I'm saying the wrong fucking word.
That's right.
That's right.
We could do shorts on YouTube too.
We need to upload videos to our TikTok account. There, I said it.
And we're not
And-
dancing. And we're not dancing either.
Instagram account.
Yeah.
Who knows how to do that? Because Adam doesn't.
There's a really good person below me here. She does good videos.
That would be really cool
we
because
see him on
Adam
our-
doesn't
we see
know
him-
how.
We see him on our shows all the time.
And maybe Adam could give a password, but no.
Calling me out on my own program. I love it.
Woo! It's a lot of smoke going on in here, boy. A lot of smoke. Just
Look, I'm not gonna
clouded
give
the room.
Adam knows I love him, right, Adam?
We got Kenny Pickett starting this weekend. He's cleared to start. So what did the crowd? What did the audience think of getting Christian McCaffrey?
Woo!
Yo, I was just like, wait, we got who? And I'm like, damn. That was like when I first saw it, I was just like, okay, but look how much ass they gave him. That tells me
They
this is
didn't
a
give
now
up
or
much.
never. I mean, but as a Niner fan, and I think Rod and Gina will agree with me. I think other people saw that as y'all gave up too much and da 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 da.
But they didn't.
You know what I mean? Like,
Exactly.
no, they didn't. But other
They
fans,
think
not us.
Other people
Other
think
fans-
that, and
Yeah,
I don't.
Yeah, I don't. I
Right,
think of
right.
it as
If
I
they
think
would
of it
have,
as it was a
if
hell of
they
a
would
it
have
was a
gave
hell of a
up too
dice roll
much,
to me.
they
That's
would
what I
have gave
think.
away the picks from the Jets and the Dolphins
Well,
because they're going to
That,
finish
that would have
higher
been
than
too
them.
much.
Because
Yeah.
they're going to finish higher than them. So by keeping the Jets and the Dolphins pick in those rounds, they're going to be able to pick earlier. So it was actually very smart on which picks they decided to get rid of.
I'll say this for me, and I'm glad Peachy just said something. I was watching nitty gritty Niners last night, and Wayne and Mike was talking at the time, and the information came upon my phone, and I fucking lost it because I'm one of those that try and speak on. Nah, we're not gonna get that player. I don't think that it's gonna happen this way. Nah. And I try and psych myself out to see if it does happen. And because the Niners, oftentimes, we don't make big splashes on a lot of players.
Right.
And then let me make this clear. That's wrong to say because we made a big splash to get Trey. So I don't want to, discredit it and make it seem like we don't make big splashes. I think it's when it comes to certain players in the win now type of situation. And I feel like in this situation, this was a win now situation. And for us to get, McCaffrey, the way that we got him, how we got him, I think it's a win-win on both sides. For the Panthers, it helps them out to get, to construct their draft and, get the quarterback that they might need and whatever else that they may need. Now, as far as us, we still got, compensatory, picks. We still got our 3rd round picks. So it's not like we're missing out and we have literally nothing going into a draft like the Rams did or something like that. We're not missing out. So it's like, for people to look at it as like, the way that even Peachy, says it, we still got 9 picks left. So we're not walking into this empty-handed like, oh, we got
right, exactly.
That's it. No, we still got something, and we produce on those low or those late round draft picks, i.e. Hungrier. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Agreed.
Mitchell. Late round picks, Kittle, Warner. We got people that have produced in these late rounds that now are proven players in our organization. So I'm not mad at what we did at all. So what? Because we don't have a 1st round pick. Hell, what did we do when we did have a 1st round pick outside of Bosa?
Exactly.
Outside of Bosa, and I'm being honest right now as it speaks and as we talk right now, Trey is still a possibility. Let's be honest with that. He's a 1st rounder that is still a possibility because we have not seen everything of what he can possibly do. Solomon Thomas did absolutely fucking nothing for us when he was here.
What a waste. It was a waste.
What was his name that's up there in Chicago? Wide receiver. Light Bright.
Not Light Bright.
Oh, Dante Pettis.
I'm like, dang, of all names, I couldn't think of.
Not
he didn't do nothing. So it's like any of these top players that we do have and get doesn't really fucking matter. We still thank you, Peachy. We still produce when it comes down to having these 3rd round picks. I mean, so hey, I'm not concerned with how we do it. I'm not concerned. You know me, I don't give a shit. I sleep well at night. It doesn't bother me that, I speak my mind. You guys speak our minds, and I'm not here to sugarcoat anything or comfort, fans of thinking what's actually going on out here. If we're fucking up, I'm gonna speak on it. If we're doing great, let's speak on it. Let's continue to
point of doing a show is to speak your fucking
call it all
mind.
out. Yeah. Talk about it. Yeah. Because if we're not being honest about our team, we're not being honest with ourselves.
Right.
That's why I was saying before about being delusional. This is so easy to talk to you guys.
But it's also beautiful to not be
what it is.
Like when you're over a certain age, I'll say it that way. You know what I'm saying? We got to look at it from that perspective too, because a lot of folks look at this in a different perspective where they just go, you know what? Well, this didn't go this way, so then they want to be, this person has to be gone the next week, and it's like, y'all.
Rod, stop right there. Stop
giving
right
up.
No,
I gotta stop you right there. There's people our age and older that think exactly the way you just said. That's what I'm talking about. And it's so hard to have a conversation because let me disagree with them or I'm going to pick on Gina. Let me say something and it's not in line with what Gina has to say because she's older. Now I'm a Jimmy stan or I'm a Trey stan. No, I keep it a bean about my team, yo. I've been watching this team since the 80s, and here we are 40 something years later, and we're some of them are so fixated on 5 Super Bowl rings, nothing else. They're so fixated on win. All we do is win, no matter what. That's all they fucking know. And
this is my question though. Like, all those people that think
we've grown, we've evolved. Like the fuck, we've been losing.
I thank you because I was about to say
we've
that.
Been using.
We haven't won a Super Bowl since I was 15 years old.
Same.
Yeah.
Like I want people to think about it. I'm fucking 42. I was a teenager when we won our 5th Super Bowl. Some people weren't even born.
I think I was
any of them.
I think I was 18.
You sit up here and talk the shit the way that
19.
you talk, and you've never seen one.
Aww. She's so cute. I love Gina.
I was 19.
I was 15 and 95.
I wasn't 20 yet.
Oh,
yeah.
I was. What was I? Sophomore in high school.
But I was
95,
partying in them
90.
streets, I'll tell you. I was like, woohoo!
Of course we babies. Of course we babies, Peachy. Of course we are. We young pups
We're
out here.
kids.
We
We're
trying to get on
kids, but
y'all's
we're
level,
talking
man. I
about,
appreciate
and she
y'all.
knows what I'm talking about. We had this conversation too on her podcast with Wayne. I'm like, we can't have a definitive fucking conversation because we're so fixated on all we do is win, 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 no matter what. Sorry, baby, we haven't won since what? 90 what? We working on 30 fucking years. 30 years. And we ain't had shit. We just came off of 2 back-to-back disappointing fucking seasons. Get used to it. We're going to lose. Oh my god.
Not this
I'm not
year.
I'm not a
I
Niner
feel
fan
it.
because I say we
I
Not
lose.
feeling that
feel it.
you're gonna lose
I
in that
feel we're gonna
mentality. And then when you
win.
win, does that
We're
change
gonna
things
win
up?
because they just got their back up.
Does
See, the
what
thing about it
change?
is, it's for the new ones, the kids that are coming up that don't know what it feels like to be in this
Right.
position. I feel like once they actually see it, then it's like, wow, this is how it's supposed to go. Okay,
Because all they
after
know is 0-2. That's all they know is 0-2.
that's all they know.
That's that's all
They
they
never
know. Yeah.
seen, they never saw when Joe Montana was slumping and having bad
Knocking
years.
off
They
wins.
never saw
Right.
the years. They never saw the years when Young was having bad years. They
Right.
barely saw the years when Garcia was doing what he was doing, but then our defense
Right.
was trash. You know, a lot of that stuff people don't remember. And it's like, man, we just gotta win. We had our time, we had our opportunity. Why can't we get over the hump and everything? And I'm like, dude, certain shit has to go the right way. We had a 10-point win. We had a 10-point lead in the last Super Bowl against the Chiefs. How do we execute and win and finish this thing? That's something that we need to get over the hump. And that's the execution part that we're not putting together. At the end of the day, until we get apart and get that done, it is what it is. What's up, Tanya?
Hi, Tanya.
We just hope that everything turns around the way that it's supposed to turn around. Right now, it's a bunch of excuses. We know the common denominator in the situation. It is what it is right now. We have Jimmy. We got to ride with him. It's just that simple. You can be mad as fuck because Trey is not here. At the end of the day, he's not here. It is what it is. Get over it. So what?
All right. We're gonna lose.
Jimmy's here.
But let's not. But just don't. I mean, but don't just be so fixated on one person. Hello, we follow the front of the jersey. We follow this. We follow what's on here. This don't say no Jimmy G. This says the San Francisco fucking 49ers. Tell me when I'm wrong. I'll wait. We didn't have Jimmy G 30 years ago. Y'all wasn't bitching about it then. We had Garcia. We had Young. We had so many people. JT O'Sullivan. The list goes on and fucking on. There was a player.
We
and
really
he was playing
drafted
real
Jim
bad.
Miller.
Hello, right? We had a player, right? And this was at Candlestick. We were playing the Eagles and we lost. We ended up losing by a touchdown. This one player was playing real bad and they said, we want Carr.
Oh, yeah, that was some bullshit.
But see what
Peachy said Tim Rattay. I remember that shit.
Right, me too. But
I actually cheered for him for 1 second.
I did.
You better be in the house, son. You better be there.
Let's roll. Let's get it. But my thing is, if we're gonna roll off of one person, we just missed the whole team. We missed the history. We missed everything. I don't know if y'all ever had the chance to go to the tour at Candlestick Park, but I went not once but twice, and it was something I will never fucking forget.
Behind the scenes is so much fun.
I was sitting, unbeknownst to me, I'm sitting in a locker, and it was Colin Kaepernick's locker of all fucking people. Wow. I'm just sitting there, just all, oh my God, I'm in the Niners locker room. Yay, look at me. And the tour guide was like, you know where you sitting, right? And I was like, Joe Montana. I'm throwing names out. Steve Young. I don't know. You know what I mean? Roger Craig. I don't know. She's like, no, he's recent. I said, recent? And she said, yeah. She was like, number 7. I said, shut up. I'm in this locker. I got up. I was like, all right, sitting in this. Like, nope, I'm not sitting here. I'm staying in my lane. But it's like, just shit like that. It's like, think about that. How many times can you say your team has 5? And damn near a lot of them are, you could argue and say back to back. You could. It's just been a long time.
Well,
But
Adam has
just like we got
6.
used
I
to.
know. He's like 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're talking about those glorious, beautiful, shiny 5, right? So wrong, right? But no, I'm just saying, I know it's been a long time, but just like we got used to winning, you're used to losing too.
I'm used to
We're
it.
gonna have a slump, you know what I mean? Like, and that, not talking shit about the Steelers either, because y'all are a good ball club. Don't get me wrong.
You
But
had
y'all
3
got
wins
used
in the
to
playoffs
losing
in the
too.
last decade.
But
We've had 3 fucking wins in the playoffs in the last decade. You guys sit here and terrorize Jimmy G, who's had 4 wins in the last 4 years in the playoffs.
But they are costly.
Our whole team
Nice.
has 3 wins in the last decade.
3
And
And our
whole
last
all year
loss,
long?
like in our last big loss in the
Right.
Super Bowl was the Aaron Rodgers.
But when's the last time y'all won a Super Bowl?
Oh yeah, what was that? 09.
See? 09.
Oh,
95. Like, does that make it?
Well, I remember
09,
94 where Neil
94
O'Donnell thought Larry
for the
Brown was.
For the 94 season.
technically 94 season, but
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? It's
Right.
just 94, like it's a long fucking time.
Mhm.
You know, and that's the part
You
that
could
is,
be like, you could be like Cleveland.
we could be like a whole bunch of teams. We could be like the Falcons that don't have shit. We can be like the Panthers that don't have shit. I can name them all. But at the end of the day, we still have 5. But they're a long time ago. They haven't been in this century.
Yeah.
And I think our fan base, our OG fan base, are over, and this is no cap to people in the space and in the chat that may be over 50 or 55. It's just that don't be so stuck on Joe Montana. And if you're gonna talk about it to these young bloods, teach them about him. Don't talk about the 5 wins or the 4, because he got 4 and Steve got 1, right?
Right.
Don't talk about that. Talk
And
about when he got benched. Talk about when he was at Notre Dame and people weren't even looking his way. Talk about when he was throwing interception after interception. Nobody talks about that shit. They just talk about Dwight Clark and the catch. But what you don't know is
That's the
Dallas
biggest
was
catch
driving.
in the world.
Okay, but what happened? What happened after that, Boo Boo? I'm sorry, Dallas was driving. If it wasn't for that fumble, they're going to the Super Bowl, not us.
That's
Tell me
true.
when I'm wrong.
Hey, Melissa, Izzy. Thank you. She loves the hoodie. What up?
Melissa, what up? What up?
I'm not watching the Warriors
Hey.
game. I'm doing this podcast. No, I should have had it on in the background, but I stayed on.
That's what I'm looking at. I'm like looking up and down. So we're down.
They were
19
losing.
right
They
now.
were losing last I looked, but I didn't want to say that.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
are 19, and we're going
by
into halftime.
19.
Yeah, Denver's looking sharp,
like-
but it's
Well,
not.
you
It's,
said they're losing
but it's-
by 19?
but it's
All right,
not.
well,
But it's
19,
but it's not
yes.
Jokic that's on fire. It's that Ingram or Higem guy, Higel,
Who?
Highlander. What's his name? Oh, I just looked. Damn it! Hold on.
I'm like, what names are you
You just
saying?
butchered
It threw me off too, so leave me alone.
Damn, he
Ah.
destroyed his name.
Oh, never mind. Jokic's
We're gonna
leading
win
in
it,
points.
but at the end of the day, it's like
Jokic's leading in points now. Never mind. He wasn't before though.
we are now down
it was
20,
N Highland.
49.7.
And
Oh,
Highland had a,
Highland.
Yeah,
yeah.
Highland.
So
I wasn't looking at my stats. I was just trying to go off memory.
Oh,
Gina, you know me in basketball. I don't have a basketball team. It's hard to follow.
I know.
Sorry.
how was the ring ceremony for you Warrior fans?
Thanks, Melissa. I'm sorry. What, Rod? Sorry.
How was the ring ceremony for you?
Ooh.
How did you guys feel?
I loved it. It was
Yes.
great.
I'm glad
I-
Melissa's
It
feeling
was
better too.
Just happy.
It was amazing.
I know Melissa was sick.
Oh.
Hope you feel better.
Right.
Yeah, I'm just God.
There it
it
is.
was.
Highland. See, Tanya knows. Tanya knew who I was talking about.
I just said Highland.
Look,
Yes,
as he
you
has
just
the
said
drink in
Highland.
his hand.
I already said Highland. All right,
Yeah.
that's it. I'm out of here. You know why the Warriors are losing? Because I'm not watching the game. So peace out.
Oh hell!
No.
Oh hell!
Okay, well,
Anywho,
good night.
I love.
Um,
You know what's funny to me? I love the people that are superstitious and they make these things up. Like, oh, because I didn't watch the game, this is the reason why we lost. I'm like,
it's true.
see, there we go. I hear this shit. I swear, I just be like,
And you know why? Also, every time I go to the Niners game, with the exception of one game,
you know
they
what I mean?
won.
For the exception of
She said
one.
the exception of one.
Exception of
Thank you.
one
That's
game.
what I was about to
One
say.
game.
For
No,
the exception
but
of
it's
one. Like,
because I
if
wore
there
the
is
wrong
one
jersey.
undefeated, then I can
I
go
wore
with
the
it.
wrong
She
jersey.
said the wrong
And then
jersey.
she said I wore the wrong jersey.
I
But
love
how
it.
come they always win though?
Do you wear the same exact outfit every game that you go to?
No.
Wait, Rod.
I know because I don't want. Hey, I don't want that smoke at all. I really don't. I really
Rod,
don't.
maybe you wore the wrong jersey to the game last week, and that's why they got smoked.
How come when I go to Levi's,
No.
when
You know
I
what
go
he
to
did? He wore-
Levi's,
Uh-oh, here we
except
go.
for the home opener against Green Bay the last year, they
Watch this
win
one.
every
Watch this one, Adam.
time.
See?
Does
See?
anyone in the group chat have superstitions like this?
Yeah, I love this. I want to hear. I want to hear about these superstitions because I always have questions for people who have superstitions, and then they always miss the one part to that superstition.
The
So I
team played like
asked them a
shit.
question. Huh?
The team played like shit.
No, not that. I don't even have to go to did the team do anything. I always ask it. When I say, did you wear the entire outfit? And they go, yeah, I wear everything. And I go, the same drawers? And they go, well, no, I had different drawers on. And they go, so where's the superstition?
I'm the lucky person. It's me.
Sister. Rod.
It's
Let her go.
Gina.
Let her land.
See,
Let her
look,
land.
even Melissa's telling me, don't bring bad juju. See,
Oh,
all
shit,
I'm doing
not
is just
juju.
asking
Oh, wait.
questions. I'm not bringing anything. It's
Oh, shit.
I'm just asking.
Melissa's just telling us not to bring a bad juju to the game.
I'm not there at the game.
I'm not
Yeah.
going.
The cool part about it is they
I'm just
have-
saying, like,
Don't say
I'm just
that.
saying,
Don't
like,
say you're not going to the game. Don't, do
Melissa,
that.
this is one weekend you want a bad juju, just to let you know.
I wish I was going.
Juju Smith-Schuster.
Well, you got one going. I think Tanya said she was going though.
Tanya's going.
Tanya said she was going.
Tanya
Yeah.
said she's in the building. She's in Levi's, representing the whole nine. It's gonna be dope. Hey, take plenty of photos and everything.
There's a
I
lot
wanna
of
see how lit
faithful
it's gonna
going.
be. Even though it's gonna be National Tight End Day, I won't have a kiddo's jersey on, but I will have the other 85.
I know, Rod.
I got
This,
you in
Rod,
spirit.
this is a little
I got
weird
you.
not seeing
Got
you
you in
behind your
spirit.
jerseys tonight.
I know. I'm
Yeah.
out of town. I'm in Chattanooga right now, so that's the reason why. But when I get back, trust and believe the jerseys will be back.
You're in volunteer country.
Pretty much.
Oh.
No, I'm actually in Terrell Owens going into the Hall of Fame country. That's where I am right now. Because he decided to be at what was it? His old alma mater up here at Chattanooga. So that's where I'm close to. I'm not too far from it. I'm about an hour and a half from Knoxville.
Nice.
All right, guys, I got a jet. If you guys want to continue the show, by all means.
I'm good, y'all.
I'm good. Let's
It
go.
just
This
went
was
off
fun.
into a rant. I loved it.
Keep it rolling. I'm gonna peace
Oh.
out. And then Adam, you can do my outro when you guys are done.
No, it's your show. You end it.
Oh. You don't want to keep going? You guys can keep going. I don't care.
We can talk after. It doesn't matter. It's your call.
Hey, I to answer Melissa's question on Utah, and there were so many mistakes that were going on in that game that I'm frustrated about. Yes, the defense or the refs have something to do with that game. I do agree in costly times, but we did shoot ourselves in the foot. So I can't fully blame it, but at the right time, yes, we got fucked.
Who the fuck made this National Tight End Day?
George Kittle.
Oh, I was like, what the hell did I miss?
That was
I was like, I don't have a Fryermuth jersey. Shit.
It was a couple years ago.
I'll have the original 85 jersey on Sunday.
Vernon Davis.
That's right.
Davis, you know it.
I got it right here with me.
Vernon Davis went to high school like 25 minutes from my house.
I gotta ask one question before we go.
Yeah.
Debate question. Who would you have? Kittle or Davis? And why?
Vernon. Vernon Davis.
Why?
Vernon.
The catch 3.
That, let's run it back. When he was told to get off the field, and that his whole demeanor changed after that. It wasn't this I'm the shit, He humbled up real fast, and that's what prompted the catch 3. And I was there for that. Hell yes, against the Saints. Yes, sir. 12 rows up at that goal line. I sure was. Yep. Best memory of Candlestick I ever had.
I love Vernon.
Could you
I
imagine
loved
Vernon Davis
Candlestick.
in this? Could you imagine Vernon Davis in this offense?
Ooh, dangerous.
He was even good when the NFC Championship against the Falcons.
Yes,
I was there.
Were you?
Lucky. Oh, I freaking hate you.
Oh yeah.
Melissa went with Kittle.
See, that's why I was asking questions, because I see outside of that 210-yard game and everything, which he should have broke. What was that? Shannon Sharp's record, because I think he still holds that against the game of.
And then you read why that comment right there.
Despise.
I thought maybe she despised him because he's a bad person.
I was thinking the same thing.
It's that's like saying you despise.
I just
Joe
have
Montana
one question:
because
how
he played for
do
the
you
Chiefs.
really feel?
But is it really Vernon's fault that he went? And
No.
got the ring?
You can never say anything bad about someone going on and continuing their career. They want another payday. Let them get another payday, man.
We didn't get it in 2012, so he was like, "Fuck it, I gotta go." He went to Washington. They were trash.
Right.
Hey, he
was their best player they had.
Huh?
Yeah, he was.
He was one of the best players they had.
When?
Vernon Davis?
No,
the Redskins. The Redskins.
Yeah, on the Redskins, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Remember Trent Williams? Trent was there.
Was he there at that time?
Yeah, if I'm not
Oh,
mistaken.
shit, he's been around for a minute. Oh, shit.
Yeah. Trent, I think, was there. He was young at the time, but I think Trent was there. You had what? RG3, you had Santana Moss, you had you had what's the
running back that hit his kid?
Who?
Oh, what the hell was his name?
Oh, the guy that ended up on Kansas City?
Yeah, Adrian
Peterson.
Oh.
So they had a decent team, I guess. Yeah. But I remember Vernon Davis from that team the most.
If RG3 doesn't get hurt that season.
Then was that when the Ryan Fitzpatrick years? The backup?
Wait, I thought they had Cousins.
Oh.
I think they had Kirk Cousins behind RG3.
He was backing up then?
I think. I could be wrong. Somebody can correct me, but I think it was Kirk Cousins that was backing up RG3. Because I thought that's what they did. They draft. I could be wrong, but I think they drafted right behind each other. You got RG3, and then you went and got like Kirk Cousins like the next year or something like that.
So the Redskins, you mean?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think.
So it's like it seems like it's been so much time.
They had Rex Grossman too.
Yeah,
that's right. It sure did. Yeah, that's right.
Rex Grossman knocked his head into the the wall that year. Remember? And he went after the touchdown. He smashed his head into the padding and got a concussion. Nobody remembers that
Oh
game.
yeah, I do.
I
You're
remember
right.
it. I
No,
thought that was a
Washington was really
congratulations. Play
bad.
yourself.
They didn't have Adrian Peterson.
Damn,
They had Alfred Morris.
Alfred
Yeah, he did
Morris.
have a
That's
good
right.
year.
Yeah.
He was balling a couple years. I remember
Okay,
that.
ready? Are you ready? Their wide receivers that year: Brandon Banks, Desmond Briscoe, Pierre Garcon,
Mm,
Josh Morgan, Aldrich
mm.
Henderson, and Santana Moss.
Right.
Santana Moss. Wow.
What a
Damn, and I
forgotten
was
fucking
right.
name.
They did draft Cousins the same draft.
But Vernon Davis was
Four.
not on that. But Vernon Davis is not listed as one of their tight ends. Chris
Oh,
Coley,
so he might have been after those.
Niles
After
Paul,
that.
and Logan Paulson.
Oh well, didn't matter. I just
Right.
remember the year that Trent smacked Sherman. You know, after what was that? The Hawks beat them in the playoffs that year. After RG3 got hurt.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy how I remember other team stuff because we weren't good back then at that time. But we got 5 Super Bowl rings, you remember? Yay! Let's always cheer about that. Half of
Right.
these kids have never seen, or I was 2 years old when they won the last one, and I'm like, you don't even fucking know what we're talking about.
Melissa, they were the Redskins then, damn it. They were not the football team, the WTFs.
All right, guys, I gotta jet. My head's pounding again.
Feel better.
Please
Thank
feel better.
you.
What,
Thank you so
we
much.
cannot do the overreaction Tuesday.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
just letting you know.
Okay.
Okay.
Unless it's going to be later.
Is there another day or no?
I was just throwing that out there.
Why?
Okay, what time could if you want to do it later? Because I know
Why can't I do it Tuesday?
We have the Guardians.
But we could do 2 shows on StreamYard.
I'll bounce back and forth then.
Huh?
I'll bounce back and forth.
Back and forth what?
I'm going to be on that show. I don't
We'll talk
care.
about-
I was just saying I won't be there. If you do
We'll
it
talk
Tuesday.
about it after.
I was just throwing things out there. But
We'll talk about it after.
Okay. Look, see, that could be on TikTok right there, Gina dancing.
No, please, no. No cameras. No, just kidding.
We're on camera, Gina.
It was a joke.
We're live on many
Adam,
cameras.
Not quick on the uptake. It's a
No,
joke.
definitely not.
Hey, Melissa, get well. Get well. I heard that
Yes,
you were
feel
feeling-
better.
Thank you, Izzy. And I will try to. I've been dealing with this headache all day, and I'm trying to. It's like comes and goes. Like one day I'm feeling good, and then the next, like I don't know. I think it's like partial sinus because sometimes I can't breathe. But thanks you guys. Go Niners! Beat the Chiefs. Shit, Tanya, if you're still there, yeah, I am crazy. Tanya, fucking rock out, and yeah, I'm gonna get some rest and have fun at the game. And everybody, like, shit, we're gonna kill the Chiefs. All right.
Please take care of Gina. Please
Please take care of the Chiefs.
I will try. I will
For
try
that,
my
take
best.
care of y'all selves. Take care of your health. Get some
Yes.
rest.
I haven't felt this shitty in a minute, so I don't know what's going on.
Like
But-
everybody said, or like our boy says, make sure that you take care of your mentals. Everybody.
That's right.
Please take
Positive
care of your
energy to
mentals.
everyone. Positive energy. No
Yes.
injuries this weekend.
Please.
Let's go Niners. Bang bang Niner gang. Let's get it. We got to get this dub this week. We got to get that revenge on that 2019, that
Chiefs.
sour taste. Tanya, I need you to be loud and drunk at the game. And everybody else
We need her to be the
that's
loudest
listening,
one there, please, out of 70,000 people.
Hey, get it going, get it hyped. Everybody who's going to
He's
be
my
in the
neighbor,
attendance
I
for
will pull up on her.
2012, represent the ones that'll be there. It'd be dope if Kaepernick would be involved, but
Attendance,
it is what it is.
yes.
But everybody be careful out there. Have a good weekend. Be safe. Love, peace, and hair grease, as y'all see, and it's all good.
Right out, guys. And to send us out, here is my outro. Go Niners. See you guys in a couple
Thanks,
days.
guys. It's been fun.
I love y'all.
Appreciate you, Adam.
Let's talk.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you for the invite.
Always. See you guys next week.
Thank y'all. Appreciate it.
Bye.
Peace.